Hello Sip Squad. With Ayato back on his first banner rerun, let's dive into how Dendro has changed his potential and overall value as a character. Firstly, we'll quickly cover general information about Ayato and how he functions in teams. Ayato is a 5-star Hydro on-field DPS or enabler who relies on doing most of his damage with his elemental normal attacks. Because of his Ascension 4 passive, Ayato can also function as a decent off-fielder through his elemental burst. Even before Dendro's release, Ayato was able to fit in a variety of teams, including Vape, Electrocharge, Mono Hydro, and Freeze. Although he doesn't do extremely large amounts of damage, his easy playability, on-field and off-field application, and access to many artifact sets makes him a very comfortable unit for most players. Regardless of not doing as much damage as other carries, with a good level of investment, he still gets the job done. Overall, he is a unit that isn't necessarily a must pull, but if you do get him, he'll be able to fit in very easily with most team setups. After the release of Dendro, he still functions as an on-field DPS with off-field application on the side. Some of his best Dendro teams are Hyperbloom and Burgeon with Toma. Before we specifically go over team members, there's an important mechanic related to Ayato that you may find interesting. Ayato has a similar mechanic to characters like Xinsho, where he can proc 2 Bloom Cores almost instantaneously. This is because when you cast his elemental skill and it explodes, it applies Hydro on enemies. When you do his first normal attack in his skill stance, it actually counts as a separate instance of Hydro application, meaning that when you do something like this, 2 Bloom Cores pop out instead of just 1. Although it's not something super significant, it does allow for more Bloom related damage at the start of his rotations. For Dendro related teams, there's a variety that you can go with in Hyperbloom and Burgeon teams. Popular pairings for these teams include Ayato, Nahida, Kazuha, and Kuki Shinobu, Ayato, Nahida, Raiden with a Hydro Flex, Ayato, Dendro Traveler or Kole, Sucrose, and Lisa for a more free-to-play team, and lastly, Ayato, Yolanda Xinsho, a Dendro Flex, and Toma. Here's some of his gameplay showing how to play with one of his Burgeon teams. Now let's briefly go over things such as his best weapons, builds, and more. To start with weapons, his best in slot Haran Gappaku Futsu will be his best weapon of choice, alongside Primordial Jade Cutter and Mist Splitter. One thing to note is that the damage difference between Haran and Jade Cutter is not that far off, which doesn't make Haran a must-pull weapon for Ayato. If you want him to have more off-field presence, then Skyward Blade can also work okay. For 4-star options, you can opt to use the Black Sword, Black Cliff Longsword, and Amanoma. If you don't have any other options, you can get by with the Flute or Lion's Roar if you especially use them in Pyro or Electro Reaction based teams. For artifacts, if you have weapons such as Mist Splitter and Haran that offer damage percent buffs, then 4-piece Echoes of Offering will be the best set to use. Do keep in mind that if you have ping issues and consistently cannot stay below 100 ping, you should not be running this set as its passive will proc very inconsistently and can result in a lot of damage loss. Outside of this, standard sets you can use include 4-piece Heart of Depth or 4-piece Gladiator, 2-piece Heart of Death and 2-piece attack percent set, 4-piece Blizzard Strayer if you're using him in freeze teams, and 4-piece Thundering Fury if he is being used in electro-based teams. For Blizzard Strayer and Thundering Fury, don't specifically farm these sets for Ayato as they're used in teams that are used conditionally. Main sets should be attack percent Sands, Hydro damage bonus Goblet, and a crit Circlet, and you want to aim to have around 2000 attack, anywhere from around 18 to 20,000 HP, and about 120 to 140% energy recharge, depending on team compositions. If you're running something like Mono Hydro, you can get away with even a base 100% ER, especially if this team consists of 2 other Hydro units with just 1 Flex unit. Prioritize leveling his elemental skill and then his burst. Leveling his normal attacks is useless since it doesn't really contribute to his main source of damage. Overall, Ayato is an extremely flexible Hydro unit that can fill the shoes in most team comps. He has only become more flexible with the release of Dendro, and as other Dendro or Dendro reaction-based units get released, you'll likely see even more teams come to fruition. We hope that this helps those who are interested in Ayato, and for those wishing for him, good luck on your polls! If you want more build-related stuff or have questions specific to Ayato, come join the Sip Squad Discord, as we have a build advice channel where our build team and other staff with equivalent knowledge can help you with builds, weapon choices, and more. And as always, thank you for watching.